Good morning. So again, I am back, and you guys can see that's the South African and the American U.S. flag. The honor guard carrying it across to the west wing, and you can see here. This is usually part of the ceremony, the beginning of today's ceremony, and you can see these are the American official flag and the state flag, also coming from the entrance of the North Gate. So there are 50 countries and all the states, 50 states, 50 states, and all the states are represented, all the US states. I'm thinking 54, I almost said 54 countries, that's African country. So we are at the White House right now, and any moment now, we expect once the honor guard take their place, the President Ramaphosa and his delegation on their motorcade will arrive soon.
Post. Ready. Post. Ready. Post. Ready. Post.
You guys gonna do it, West?
No. You?
Thought about it.
You can see right there, the entrance there. I have to show you guys. We expect the President Donald Trump to come out of the Oval Office to welcome the Ramaphosa right here.
Where? This one?
Slide down. Slide down.
You can see the official South African as well as the US photographer. They are waiting for their leaders to arrive. As you probably have read in our reports throughout this week and earlier this morning in the newsletter, this is the first African head of state to visit the Trump administration. South Africa is seen as one of the top commercial partners, trade partner with African nation. Is also the second largest economy on the continent after Nigeria. And there's a lot of American businesses, over 100 American multinational company that operates in Africa, that have headquarters in South Africa, including Ford. One of South Africa's major exports to the US is automobile as well as agricultural products. Yesterday, the USTR administrator, Guerra, met with the South African Trade and Industry Corporation Minister, Mr. Paktua. They met yesterday for bilateral meeting on discussing trade negotiation. As we know, there's a lot of negotiation going on after the President Donald Trump unveiled tariff last month on Liberation Day. So their meeting, according to the report that we received, was very successful. The meeting included, as I said, the trade minister from South Africa, as well as the agricultural minister were also present, and they discussed AGOA renewal, urging the administration to renew the AGOA. As we know, AGOA is one of the trade initiatives that the US and Africa use to trade Uh, and under the program, it provides duty free on some agricultural products that are imported from Africa to the US. Is a preferred program. Also, today we expect trade to be a big part of their conversation, as well as the recent ongoing controversial issue that the White House official told us on Monday that will be raised today, that President Donald Trump will raise that issue regarding the the alleged prosecution of white African farmers in South Africa. So those are some of the conversation that we have today. We also receive information that South African-born American tycoon Elon Musk will be present in the Oval Office for the meeting, as well as other delegations, including the Vice President, J.D. Vance, the Secretary of State, Special Envoy, Senior Advisor for Africa, Masad Balou, who was recently in Egypt, just returned from a trip from Egypt. He's been traveling since last month. He's been traveling a lot to the continent, meeting with officials. One important note on this meeting, as I mentioned, but the significance of this meeting, last week the Trump administration unveiled a new commercial diplomacy to engage with African nations, a 6-point action to engage with African nations, as well as announcing that there will be a U.S. African leader summit later this year. So we expect some of those to be discussed, as well as the topic on Rwanda and DRC. Before I forget, one major thing as well is South Africa. We know De Beers diamond is a major exporter in critical mineral, including diamond, copper. So we expect that to be part of the discussion on trade relations. As we know, the U.S. is working on increasing its access to critical minerals around the world. So you can see the bikes moving. That means the motorcade of President Ramaphosa is we come through the gates, did not gates any moment now. And we expect President Trump also. is entering. That's the South African flag. President Ramaphosa arrived, and you can see President Donald Trump. We see President Ramaphosa and President Trump right here. And this is the Minister of International Relations, Minister Lamona, Minister Pactua, the Trade Minister, as well as the Agricultural Minister. The woman there is the Minister for the South African Presidency. And these are the South African delegation. So that concludes the South African delegation entering into West Wing, and they will meet in the Oval Office. The South African President Cyril Ramaphosa has arrived along with the South African delegation at the White House. The South African president was welcomed at the West Wing, the White House West Wing, by President Donald Trump, and they've gone into the Oval Office along with their delegation. First thing on the agenda, they will have lunch, and then later on they will hold a bilateral meeting in the office. As I've reported, the honor guards now So here you have it. You have the honor guard now concluding. This marks the conclusion of the arrival ceremony, the official arrival ceremony. Many of our audience have seen this, but for those who haven't, this is the traditional part of the ceremony, official visit ceremony, and you can see the honor guards carrying American flag, state flag. Not here.
You guys know where he is. Do you have a car to drive him down? They're gonna hold. There are 15 minutes.
Vitals right here? Alright, I'll stand by and wait then. Let Richard know. I gotta stand by and wait for him to get vitals, and then I'll bring him down. I'll escort him down. Actually, Richard's right here. I don't know where. Hey, the order was all messed up down here. I don't know how they messed it up.